Welcome to your HIIT Superset class. This is a new class format that I personally have been playing around with for the past couple months. I love it, and I think you guys are really going to love it as well. In total, we're going to do 5 HIIT supersets. In each superset, I give you 2 exercises. Exercise A and exercise B, they're going to be pretty similar, but exercise A is going to be lower impact, and then we dial up the intensity for exercise B. So as an example, if exercise A was an air squat, then exercise B would be a squat jump. You do the 2 exercises back to back for 20 seconds apiece. You then rest for 20 seconds before repeating. So in other words, that's 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest, and we complete 4 sets of each superset. You get about a minute to recover in between each superset, sometimes a little more, while I demonstrate the upcoming exercises. So in total, it's a little under 25 minutes of HIIT work. Now, if we're only doing 25 minutes of HIIT work, why is this workout video so long? That is because a big and equally important part to this class is our warm-up. We spend a solid 10 minutes preparing our body thoroughly for the HIIT work that we're going to do. That includes breathing, some gentle joint mobility, some cardio to gradually bring our heart rate up, because that's important before we go into HIIT training, and then a little more joint mobility or dynamic stretching. At the end of this workout, we also have a guided cool down. And if you love this workout and you want more, you now have the option to become a Patreon member to gain access to additional workout classes on top of what I share here on YouTube for free. Your Patreon membership allows me to continue to do this and keep these workouts as accessible as possible, so I am so appreciative of you. Now, with all that said, let's get right into our warm-up. We're going to start with just some deep breathing. I want you to find a comfortable, neutral stance. Your arms can relax down by your sides. Maybe you close your eyes. Your inhale is going to be through your nose, and when you inhale, I want you to think of expanding your rib cage east to west. Don't let the breath get caught in your shoulders. Really breathe down into your diaphragm. The exhale is going to be through your mouth like you're blowing out a birthday candle. And as you do that, the rib cage is gently going to move in and down. There's going to be a widening of the abdominal wall, a gentle lift through the pelvic floor. Keep going just like that. Deep inhale. Slow exhale. One more like that. Deep inhale. Expand through the rib cage. Slow endurance exhale. And now we're just going to add in a little bit of movement. So inhale to prepare, and on your next exhale, I want you to start to nod the chin, and you're just going to roll forward vertebrae by vertebrae, coming into a forward fold position. On your inhale, you reverse it, rolling back up. Coming to that neutral standing position. Again, exhale, start to nod the chin, roll forward, knees are unlocked. And roll it right back up. Next time down, we are going to stay down low, nod that chin, start to fold forward. And just hang at the bottom. Now from here, I want you to start bending into one knee at a time. As you bend into that knee, I want you to dip that same shoulder towards it. So there's a little side to side movement, bending into one knee, then the next. Doesn't matter if your hands are touching the floor or maybe they're just hovering around your shins. Mobility work isn't about being the most flexible. It's about working within your range of motion. All right, now coming through center, I want you to start to lift up on an exhale. Hands come to your shins. Find a neutral spine. And then on an exhale, just fold forward again. Inhale, lengthen. Crown of your head reaches long. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And this time I want you to hold that neutral spine position. I want you to bring hands to heart center. You might need to separate your feet a little bit. We're going to come into a hip hinge squat combo. So lifting your torso up, I want you to then hinge forward. Bend the knees, drop into your squat. Drive the feet into the floor to stand. So we hinge at the hips. you bend at the knees, you drive up. I like to include some sort of hip hinge in all the warm-ups for these HIIT Superset workouts because a hip hinge is the foundational movement of so many exercises. Your deadlift, your squat, hips slide back, deep bend. Next time you hinge forward, I want you to hold. Bring your hands to your thighs. Now I want you to take your right hand and move it across to the outside of the left knee. Your left arm extends straight, and we're going to twist open and closed. Now this twist is coming through your spine. It's not coming through your shoulder and your arm, so you should be able to see your hand in your peripheral vision the whole time, and you're not trying to whip the arm open as wide as possible, okay? Really think about where the twist is originating. Come through, and then we're just gonna switch sides. Left hand to the outside of the right knee, right arm is straight, twist it open, and close. So don't lead with your arm. Twist originates in that thoracic spine. One more. Come through center, and I want you to reach your arms forward, and we're just going to do a little retraction and protraction of the shoulder blades. If you're new to those terms, you're basically sliding your shoulder blades in towards your spine, then out wide down by your armpits, but without changing the shape of your spine. So it's just a free gliding movement of the scapula. The shoulder joint, there's a lot of movement within it, so that's why we're spending so much time really warming it up. Now I want you to find a position between the protraction and retraction, so a stable neutral, and we're just going to start to trace nice big arm circles. Does not matter the direction. Now when your arms lift up, they're not lifting up so high that you flare out through your rib cage, so we're maintaining that abdominal connection. And just switch. So same circles, other direction. Again, you can see your hands in your peripheral vision the whole time, getting that upward and downward rotation of the scapula as we make these circles. There will be some natural elevation of the shoulders up towards your ears, but you're not scrunching them. And we're going to switch the focus to our hip joint. So I'm just going to turn to face you. I actually want you to stay in a semi-squat position, and you're going to shift the weight into your left leg. We're going to move through the right. So from here, you might need to step the foot out a little wider. I just want you to kind of lift the toes and externally rotate, and then bring it back to point forward. So that right foot hinges open and close. Now you're not leading with the foot. The turnout is happening from your hip joint. So hip, knee, toes, they all open and close, but this is the initiator. Now we're going to reverse that. I want you to find internal rotation and forward. Feels a little weird, right? A little unnatural. It is safe though, as long as all three joints, ankle, knee, hips, are moving together. Don't force it, okay? Don't make it bigger than it is. I don't have a ton of internal rotation, so mine is pretty small. All right, now let's just go through internal, external. So internal, external, internal, external. A couple more like this, and then we'll just take it to the other side. And then we are going to take it into our light cardio section. Last time, come through center. Now we're just going to shift our weight into that right foot, and we're going to start with external rotation on the left. Open and close. It's a little pivot forward. Again, where is the movement originating? In that hip joint. Get ready to switch that. We're going to go internal. So next time you come forward, now internal, forward. Doesn't have to be big. You're pivoting off that heel, little lift of the foot as you do it. Turn in and forward. And now let's just put that together. Internal, external, internal, external. So while the focus is on the hip joint, you always have to ask yourself when exercises, all right, maybe this is a leg move, but what is the rest of my body doing to support that movement? Let's make sure we still have our long neutral spine brought across the collarbones. Last time, feet point forward, and then finally come up. Hopefully you built a little heat through the lower body. So for our cardio section, jumping jacks, butt kickers, pretty simple. Let's go right into our jumping jacks. So we're gonna alternate between those two movements 3 times. If it's a little too soon for that, you also have the option to just step, step, one side, then the next. We're gonna take it to butt kickers in 3, 2, 1, run it out. Heel in towards your bum. Now, again, if you want a lower impact option, kick, 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 instead of running it out. So we're gradually bringing the heart rate up. This is also a nice active opening for the quads. Back to your jumping jacks in 3, 2, 1, out and in. Now in this jumping jacks, your glutes are active. So when we were just doing that little external rotation, I want you to think of keeping almost a slight bit of external rotation here. Your thighs are wrapping outward, glutes are active. It's small. Butt kickers in 3, 2, 1, run it out. Pump those arms as you do this. We're gonna go through the 2 movements one more time. Then you have just a little bit more mobility work. We'll make the range of motion larger. And then we get to our HIIT Supersets. Jumping jacks in 3, 2, 1, last set. So think back to the arm circles we were doing in the first part of our warm-up. We're now doing that same upward downward rotation, but making it a little quicker, a little more explosive. Butt kickers in 3, 2, 1, run it out. All right, I'm gonna turn to the side. We're gonna walk out into a plank position in 3, 2, 1. All right, come to standing. You're gonna fold forward. Hands come to the mat. I want you to walk yourself out into a plank position. From plank, you're gonna take your right foot, step it to the outside of your right hand. Right arm is gonna reach up to the ceiling, you're twisting open. Bring the hand down to the floor. Step your right foot back, same thing left side. Big step forward on the left. Nice opening through the hips. Twist it open. Left hand comes down to the floor. Step it back, twice more each side, alternating. Right foot, right hand. Hand down, foot back. Left foot, left arm. Hand down, foot back. One more time each side. Right foot, twist it open, close it, step it back. Last time. Left foot, twist open, hand down, hold your plank. Now squeeze your quads, squeeze the glutes. You're long through the spine, so your head isn't hanging heavy. And I just want you to start shifting forward and back. Little ankle and wrist mobility here. Give me 4 more, 3 more, 2, last time. Shift the hips up, downward facing dog. Pedal out the heels a little bit for me here. And now I want you to start walking your hands back in towards your feet. You're gonna roll up slowly. Big shoulder roll open at the top. And let's get to our HIIT Supersets. Exercise A, it is going to be a calf raise in a low semi-squat and then another calf raise as you come out of that squat. So to show you from the side, little lift at the bottom, lift at the top. It's not a huge lift because I don't want your ankles rolling out to the sides. From there we go right into a 180 squat jump. So you are switching your position. Flip, flip. Now I'm bringing one hand to the ground. I only want you to do that if you're able to get low without rounding forward through your upper body. So you might opt to just do a regular twisting squat jump like that and not worrying about touching the floor. To modify that one, you could just give me a regular squat jump without the switching around of direction, or you could always give me a regular air squat. Okay, let's get to it. 20 seconds A, 20 seconds B, rest for 20 seconds. We're gonna go through this 4 times. First up will be that little calf raise, the bottom and the top. Let's go. Little lift at the bottom, at the top. When you come to the top, you're thinking of squeezing your seat. And again, ankle stability is directly related to hip stability and knee stability. So I want you to think of staying active through the glutes, knees tracking in line with your toes. All right, right into those 180 squat jumps. So you'll notice I'm looking over, I'm twisting towards the opposite shoulder every time. So I'm not making a circle, I'm going side to side. Rest. Okay, set one done, 3 more to go. Calf raise coming up. Little lift at the bottom, at the top. In your squat, think about maintaining a neutral spine. So you're reaching your tailbone back, we're brought across the collarbones. You're not tucking under through the tailbone. Let's go. If you need to modify, just give me a regular squat or go back to exercise A. Rest. Whew, halfway there. Calf raise combo coming up. So when you lift up your heels, I want you to think of grounding down through your toes, especially that big toe. That's going to help prevent you from rolling outward, which I really don't want. Let's go. Now modifying, awesome. Try not to stop though. Your goal is 40 seconds of work, regardless of what that looks like. Oh, rest. Whew. One final set. Let's go. Little lift, little lift. Let's go, final 20 seconds. Again, don't round forward, okay? Run across those collarbones, reach your tailbone back. Almost there. Keep it up. Done. Okay, you have about a minute to recover. I'm going to show you our next 2 moves. Second superset, exercise A. We're going to be in a split lunge position, and it's a pulse and then a knee drive through that back knee, isolating one side, just like that. Exercise B, from here, stay in the same position. It's a lunge hop, small, then big. Hop, make it explosive, just like that. So we're gonna isolate the same leg, and then we will switch, which is kind of good news because that means you only have to do the same leg twice instead of 4 times. Now to modify that second one, lots of options. You could just stick with the little lunge hop, or you could stick with exercise A, that pulse, and that knee drive. So let's start with our right foot forward in the split lunge, left foot back. You don't want too wide of a stance, okay? There's a little bend to that back knee, and we have a slight hinge forward with our torso, so I want your shoulders stacked over this front knee. So it's a pulse, knee drive. You're staying fairly low on that front right leg. Right into the hop. Little, make it explosive. Little, little hop. Almost there. Rest. We'll switch it to the other side. Left leg will be the focus. Okay, let's do it. Left foot forward, right foot steps back. Square your hips. So you might need to take that back right hip and pull it forward a smidge. If balance is an issue when you do that knee drive, you could always just stick with the pulse, or you could have a chair nearby and keep a hand on it. Let's go. Hop. Make it explosive. Get some air, but land low, okay? So don't walk out through those legs on the landing. You're right back in that low lunge. Rest. Aren't you glad we only have to do it twice on each leg? We'll go back to isolating the right side. Right foot forward, left foot back, square your hips, hinge forward. Pulse it, knee drive. Now you're not walking on a tightrope in this lunge, so make sure you're not crossing this back foot too far behind you. Hips distance apart. That could be a big reason why balance is off, if that is the case for you. Okay, hop it, make it big. Don't lose the connection to your core, okay? So I don't want you arching into that low back, especially as you jump up. Rest. One more time, back to the left leg. Pulse it, knee drive. Final 40 seconds of work in this superset. Let's go. Small, big. Right to the end, we're almost there. Done. Whew. Okay, got about a minute to recover. Superset 3, exercise A. We're gonna make an equal sign with our hands, or kind of like an I dream of genie position. And I want you to press your forearms into each other at chest height so that you feel your lats activate, this area under your armpits. From this position, it's going to be a squat to an alternating torso twist. So you squat down, you come up, twist to the side of whatever knee is lifting up. And it's a small twist because just like we went over in the warm-up, the twist is originating with your spine, not with your arms and your shoulders flinging around, okay? Exercise B is going to be high knees. I'm going to have this hand position, elbows wide in my peripheral vision, not so wide that I lose connection to my ribs, and I'm gonna run it out from there. If you would rather do this with your arms, that's an option too. And if you want to modify that one, march in place instead of running it out. So this one's going to get your heart rate way up there. Mine already is. All right, equal sign with those arms. Press the arms into each other. Don't have your arms too high, okay? It's chest height. Squat to torso twist. Let's go. Down. I want you to twist on an exhale. So think about your stabilizing leg. You're squeezing into the glutes. We already worked on that ankle stability. It's in play here too, even though we're not doing a calf raise. High knees. Run it out. Core is held in tight. Drive those knees up. Rest. One set down, 3 to go. Squat to torso twist. Opposite arm on top this time. It's not about how big you can make the twist. It's about core stability. You want control. High knees. If you'd rather do this with the arms, that is an option. If you need to march it out, just like that. Rest. Whew. Halfway there. Really actively press the arms into each other. They're not just resting there. I want you active through the mid-back when we do that little twist. Let's go, run it out. Don't lose connection to your rib cage, okay? If your elbows are way out like this, you're probably puffing out. Think drawing gently in. Elbow slightly forward. Pick it up. Oh, never mind, rest. It's a great timed cue. One more set. Whew. Squat. So when you twist, your upper half is twisting, your pelvis is not moving though. So I want you to think about keeping the hips square. Final 20 seconds, let's run it out, let's go. Get those knees up. Almost there, pick it up. And done. Whew. All right, we're gonna make our way down to the mat for the next two. You have about a minute to recover. Superset number 4, exercise A, is going to be a push-up. You can modify this by doing it with your knees down. Exercise 2 is going to be a surfer get-up, which is like the bottom half of a burpee. So right from your push-up position, you'll lower all the way down to the mat, and then you push yourself up, landing in a low squat with one foot in front, and then you just switch which foot is in front. So it's literally like you're jumping up on a surfboard to catch a wave. Not that I know how to surf, but close enough, right? Now, if you're gonna modify the surfer get-ups, you could just stick with the push-ups, or you can opt to just jump to a plank and then to squat like that. Okay, 20 seconds, 20 seconds. You know the drill. Woo, I am covered in dog hair. Push-ups to start. Now a push-up is a total body exercise. So squeeze your quads and glutes. Core is active. As soon as they start to get sloppy, knees down for me, okay? Surfer get-ups. Lower yourself to the mat and push up. Now it's a controlled lowering to the mat, okay? So you're not flopping down. It's one long line down. You can keep your knees on the floor as you press up though to help yourself get up, rest in a secure way. Basically, I just want you to avoid kind of being a wet noodle through your spine, okay? Whew. One set down, 2 to go. Push-ups are something I'm working on. I had to do a ton of shoulder stability work just to be able to get to where I am. So I'm gonna start on my feet and then I'm just gonna drop to my knees as needed. surfer get-ups. Rest. Halfway there. Whew. Let's find that plank position, hands stacked under shoulders. Oh, knees down for me. There's no shame in modifying, but if you are trying to build up to doing a push-up from your feet, try to start there, okay? Even if it's just one from your feet before you modify to your knees, it's gonna help you build up to be able to being able to do more and more from your feet. Rest. That's stuck down on the ground there. If it's getting to be too much, remember, you can just jump to a plank on those surfer get-ups instead of lowering your chest all the way down to the ground. One final set to go. Again, if you're in the same boat as me with push-ups, let's do one from our feet, okay? Oh. Remember, it is not just your arms working. I want you to inhale on the way down, exhale, push the floor away to come up. That breath pattern is going to help you connect to your deep core muscles, those stabilizing transverse abdominis. Oh, final 20. Ooh, almost there. Oh, and done. That was a tough one. Okay, you have about a minute to rest. I'm going to show you our final two exercises. Exercise A, we're going to be in a forearm plank. Well, both exercises we're going to be in a forearm plank. Exercise A, we're going to alternate knee taps, right, left, and then both together. Your goal as you do this is to not move the pelvis, okay? So you're not rocking side to side. Now to modify, you start in a kneeling position with your toes tucked under, and then you lift up from there so that you always have one knee down for support. Exercise B, we're going to go right into a forearm plank jack. To modify that, you can step one foot out at a time. Now, in your forearm plank, I want your forearms at parallel, not together, okay? When we go together, we tend to internally rotate the shoulders, and I don't want that. Broadness across the collarbones. Squeeze through the quads and glutes. And let's go. Tap, tap, both together. Again, I don't want any rocking of the pelvis. It's the lightest little tap. Jacks. Don't let your head droop down, okay? It's not this long. There's a sensation of length across the back of your neck. Rest. Ooh. Take advantage of the rest intervals to get off your shoulders. Ooh. 3 more. No big deal. All right, broad across the collarbones, forearms at parallel. Let's go. Oh, I'm so sweaty. I'm starting to slip across my mat. Jacks. Again, your modification here, step right, step left. If your shoulders have had enough, try it on straight arms. I'll just finish up here since I'm already demoing. Done. Okay, halfway there. Trying to wipe the sweat off my forearms. Tap, tap, both. If going both together is too much, you could always just stick with the alternating as well. Jacks. Woo! Rest. One more to go. We got this. Rest is on the other side. 40 seconds. Let's go. Now you have a long neutral spine, so you do have a natural curve to your low back. So make sure you're not tucking under. When we try to tuck under, we tend to also pike the hips up, and I don't want that. Final 20 seconds, let's do it. Ugh. Final few seconds. And done. Find a child's pose. Ooh, catch your breath. Couple deep breaths here. If you would rather catch your breath upright, sometimes it can be a little too much to catch your breath leaning forward like that, then come up. Wherever you are though, we're gonna make our way down to lay on our stomach. Whew. And from here, I want you to tent your fingertips out wide. So we're gonna do a little mix of movement and then holding static stretches. On an inhale, I want you to just lift up without just sinking into your low back though. And then as you lower, I want you to dip one shoulder towards the mat, bringing that cheek down. Other side, lifting, dip the other shoulder down. And then just move fluidly like this a couple times side to side. Whew. Feels nice to open up across the chest after plank work. And those push-ups and surfer get-ups. Last time. And now I want you to come through center, and I want you to stretch your arms out in a T shape. I'm just gonna have to scoot over a little bit so I have room. I want you to keep your right arm down, tent your left fingertips, and you're just gonna push yourself over so that that left foot comes and lands behind the right side. So you have this nice opening across our right shoulder, and a little bit of spinal twist as well. And let's just stay here for a few breaths. If this twist is a little too intense, you could also always stick with the side-to-side movement we were doing earlier with fingertips tented. No rush. When you're ready though, we'll roll through center and do the same thing other side. Left arm reaches out long, right fingertips tent, and then we kick that right foot up and over. Sorry if I'm muffling my mic a little bit. So I'm going to bring you through a relatively quick guided cool down. I always encourage you to take more time to stretch as needed, address any particular areas that might need more attention for you individually. And I do have some mobility videos on my channel. I'll link to those below. You could always opt to do one of those. Let's roll through center. We're going to push ourselves up into a tabletop position. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And we're just going to make some nice big hip circles on that right side. Doesn't matter the direction. Do 3 one way. And then just switch direction. And then just take it over to the other side, left leg. Nice big hip circles. Once you've done 3 in one direction, just switch. And when you finish that, I want you to tuck your toes under. I want you to lift your hips up into a downward facing dog. You can pedal out the heels, but then I want you to kind of settle in and feel that nice stretch across the back of your legs. We're going to come into a kneeling lunge position. When you're ready, first let's lift that right leg up to the ceiling, bend the knee and open up through the hip. Oh, that feels so good. And then we're just going to bring that right foot forward in between your hands or the outside of the right hand, if that works better for your hips. Wiggle it inward so that you're square. Drop that back left knee down. We're going to come into a kneeling lunge position. I want you to square your hips and then just gently push the pelvis forward so you get a nice opening across that back left hip flexor. Let's take that back left arm. I want you to sweep it up and over for a side body stretch. Coming back through center. Only if it feels okay for your back knee, we're going to take a quad stretch. You're going to bend that back knee, opposite hand catches the foot, and it's a gentle tug in towards your bum. If this is not working for your knee, stay in the split lunge, okay? Without slingshotting that back foot, you're going to release it, and we're going to shift our hips back into a half split, straightening out through that front leg. I like to just kick it forward a little bit, and you are folding forward. Bending into that front knee, hands to the mat. We're going to step back to our plank position. Hips go up, downward facing dog. And let's do the same thing on the other side. Left leg lifts up, bend the knee, open up through the hips. Left foot is going to step forward. You drop that back knee down. We come up right into our split lunge. You make sure the hips are square, gentle squeeze of the seat, and then you press the pelvis forward slightly so that you feel that opening. Right arm is going to sweep up and over for our side body stretch. Really breathe into that right side of the rib cage. Coming back through center, we have that optional quad stretch, only if it feels okay for your back knee. With control, we release that back foot. We shift our hips back, content the fingertips. You might need to hop that foot forward a little bit and find your half split position, folding forward over that front leg. Walking your hands forward. This time, let's just step back into our plank and take one final downward facing dog, keeping both heels down towards the mat. Few deep breaths here. When you're ready, you're going to start to walk your hands towards your feet into a forward fold. And you're going to start to roll up slowly vertebrae by vertebrae. I'm going to stay kneeling just so that I'm in the frame of the video, but you can come up to stand. We're going to take 2 deep breaths together to finish. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, release. Last time, inhale up. Exhale, release. And that is your HIIT Superset class. I hope you enjoyed this, guys, and I would love your feedback in the comments. If you did love this video, I have another one available right now on my Patreon. There are different tiers for Patreon. This one is available for all 3, so regardless at what level you choose, you will have access to it. It's another one using no equipment, so it's all body weight. It's just different exercises. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I post new workouts here to YouTube every Monday with access to additional workouts on my Patreon. I'll see you next week.